Hey guys, welcome to Give Me Five. Fuck.
Wow. Is that how you're gonna start the podcast?
It's so awkward not having Father John here that like my brain just
He usually directs us and this is gonna be a real interesting podcast because we don't have Father John here to find out.
Are we gonna keep all that in?
Yeah.
Welcome to Give Me Five, your weekly podcast where we talk about games, movies, snacks, and more. I'm your host, T Bishop, and my co-host,
Milky T.
Today we've got some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your favorite console?
The Switch.
Yeah. Well, okay, so to be honest, it's not my favorite console, but I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that tell you about it?
I mean, it's now the best-selling.
Fastest selling console in U.S. history. That's crazy. Like when you think about, to me, like when you think about when the like PlayStation 2 came out, or even like the PlayStation 3, how long those lines were at Best Buy, or when the Xbox came out, like the Xbox 360 when it came out, and those big lines, and you thought about like how hard it was to get one.
Every time I think about
that it
Nintendo,
sold this much.
the only thing I can really think about is like, you remember the guys? There was a commercial a while back where, like, for the Wii specifically, where it was the dudes, like the Asian guys that came to the door and they like ding dong.
Yeah.
And they're like, "We would like to play."
Oh yeah.
Like that's what I think about when I think of Nintendo, and just hearing that.
Man, I forgot about that commercial.
Yeah, it's fucking. That's iconic. But Nintendo Switch being the best selling, like, I guess it makes sense because it's portable.
Right.
Like if you were to bundle PS Vita sales with you hear excuse the dogs freaking the fuck out right now.
No, go ahead. The Vita sale.
The PS Vita and like the PlayStation Portable and then like the PlayStation 3 or whenever the PSP came out. But like if you bundled like their portable sales with their console sales, I wonder if that would get anywhere close.
No, because then you have to start talking about like Game Boy sales.
No, because the Switch is considered, because the Game Boy came out way prior, first of all. But the point is like the the Switch is both a portable and a regular console.
Yeah,
like that's why it's called the Switch, right?
Yeah.
So like, is it the fastest selling because it's both?
No, I think they consider the sales under a console and not under a portable.
Well, no, I get that. I just feel like the reason.
Do you think it's selling so much because it's like a 2-in-1 thing?
Yeah, because anybody that's like why would I go fucking buy a DS? Like why would I go buy a DS? Why would I go buy a PSP? Like if I had right? Why would I go buy these?
I think that's a very good point. Like I always wondered if the Game Boy sales are going to hurt now because of the Switch.
Well, so the DS is nowhere near. It's never been anywhere near. But the DS is also counted as a portable.
Right.
So the fact that they had they had they were coming out with different versions of DS.
Yep.
That are the like DS XL or whatever it's called, like the larger ones, and those are more, if anything, because some of those did sell out. Like I think was it in the UK or something along those lines? There was a specific one that was only sold there that ended up getting sold out. So like those exist for more of a novelty purpose.
Yeah, and I think some people still rock it. I think it will be a while before the Switch kind of takes over that area because Pokemon's real popular on those and things.
Yeah, I don't understand how Pokemon hasn't already been made.
It's coming.
Exclusively like hey, this is a Switch game.
It's gonna get there. I think the craziest thing to me is think about what Nintendo's gone through from the Wii to the Wii U being such a disaster console. And then now, almost like a last-ditch effort. Because honestly, if this console didn't sell well, there was a very good chance Nintendo might have jumped just to being a video game-only company.
Well, we've already talked about, though, how like Nintendo's missing the mark so easily right now because they just
think they're slacking that can make them even more popular, yeah.
Oh yeah, like they easily missed the mark for digital download mobile games. Like mobile games, and I think we've talked about this before, but like mobile games should have easily been an instance where they took over the market, because imagine their revenue stream wasn't great from it, especially because they didn't put enough effort into it. but the revenue stream wasn't great from Super Mario Run.
Oh yeah.
So Super Mario Run, but the caveat there is that Super Mario Run was one of the fastest downloaded games on at least the iOS platform, if not both platforms, out of a lot of games from, was it last year, I think it came out. Or sorry, was it?
But their new mobile game's pretty popular, right?
I don't know. So you talking about Pocket Camp?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Pocket Camp was really popular. I think part of it though, so it was available in another country. I think it was available in Japan first.
Okay.
And you had to like go and create a secondary account. I actually had someone from where I work that went and created a secondary account to go and download that from a different region store.
Wow.
But mind you, Pocket Camp only came out to iOS first. It was not Cody. It was Tanner.
Yeah.
But it came out to iOS only. So I don't know. Like I haven't looked into it, and so Father John. If you guys notice, we missed the Father John introduction because we're very
sick.
confused. He's not here.
He's sick.
He's a little sticky
boy.
Hey, Father John, we love you.
Yeah.
But I think that they've started to realize that there's a market for it, but they're missing out on so much by not investing in dev for specifically like why doesn't Zelda have a game? Like it can be almost anything. It could be pot smashing.
I'm glad that Zelda doesn't.
It could be pot smashing.
I know, but I don't want them to like. I don't want them to like oversaturate.
Did they ruin Super Mario Run? Or Super Mario Run? No, right? They had other games, like they had Mario's Rabbids, and they had, right? They had Mario Odyssey. Like they didn't ruin it because Mario Run came out, right? So Pocket Camp is just an addition to.
I don't like mobile games, so it's kind of hard for me to like want to.
Right. So like all it can do is draw more attention. It can draw more attention to create a larger revenue stream to potentially unlock potential for bigger and better games. We already know that Breath of the Wild Breath of the Wild won last year's Game of the Year.
Yeah, it won everybody's award.
It won out. Like, hands down, the only thing that really competed with it was, like, apparently Horizon Zero Dawn from
Lockwise?
Yeah, and then Mario Odyssey. But Mario Odyssey didn't have the chance to actually go in.
Yeah, because it came out so late.
Yeah, so, like, I think that the big idea, like, the big vision should always be how do we go bigger and go better? And when you release something like Breath of the Wild, like, you're fucking up if you don't go, okay, how can we harness now, like, the attention that we have and
make more stuff for
make more of that, like, the DLC doesn't do Breath of the Wild justice in my opinion.
No, I don't like the DLC. That's the one thing I don't like.
So you finally got the game back too.
Yeah.
So I never bought Breath of the Wild. I ended up borrowing yours, and then I
took forever to
kept it back. You also came over.
I know
many times.
I was playing other games. I guess the DLCs are nice until they come out with like a DLCs that's like a huge new story.
I want more story. That's the problem.
I'm not going to be into it, and I hope they have a little bit that helps out and kind of gives you a little bit until the next Zelda game comes out. But I'm super impressed with the Switch. I mean, everything it does. Hopefully soon by the end of this year, they'll have 64 gigabyte cards, so they can put bigger games on there and not have to rely so much about internals.
Dude, there's two things we know that the Nintendo Switch needs, and that's
64 gigabyte card.
Well,
and chatting.
Like that's cool. The 64 gigabyte card's cool, but like number one, they need voice chat.
They need it. It's the biggest thing they need. It's one of the biggest reasons why I stopped playing Splatoon.
Yep, and the only other thing that they really need is Bluetooth compatibility for headphones.
Without having to plug in a dock.
Why do I have to plug in a dongle that sticks out this far from my Nintendo Switch in order to use Bluetooth headphones?
It's stupid.
It's trash.
And I think they need to start doing a better job of getting us classic Nintendo games on the Switch.
Yeah, and I think that'll be helpful. I think new
dev... You give me a Arceum of time.
Yeah, but I think new dev is what they need to really focus on, unless it's easy for them to port things over.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Xbox, so Microsoft has it down pat. The fact that they can not only get new people, but they can also bring back old games with backwards compatibility, and they're constantly working on that. But they also have a huge platform to work from, where Nintendo maybe they can't afford that platform. Like maybe they can't do backwards compatibility that way. And if that's the case, like
we'll have to see. I mean, the biggest thing for me, if you give me a better way of chatting with my friends, I'm gonna be all over it.
Yep. Part of the reason why I prefer gaming on like a computer is because Discord makes it really easy versus playing on a console or anything else. Like trying to game and talk because I'm a couch co-op and multiplayer.
We can still use Discord through the Switch, I guess, but I hate having to like go like grab my phone. Almost have to grab like 2 different kind of headsets.
But if you had the ability to just like open up the menu and Discord was already there.
If it was an app that I could download on there and it worked hand in hand, I don't see why that hasn't happened yet. I want to be able to play Mario Kart and fucking talk shit to you. Like I want to do all that.
I want in-game chat for Mario Kart as well. This is a super side note, like super tangent. I want in-game chat for Mario Kart. You're doing multiplayer, however many, like 16 drivers, however many there are. I want you to be able to drive by somebody and just yell and like just like if I'm driving by you, I'm like fuck you, bitch, and then just keep going.
I hope it gets there, man. I think it will. I think there's been enough cry from the community for that, but it's super impressive what Nintendo's done.
Well, okay, so let's switch gears a little bit because talking about consoles specifically, there's a new thing that's coming. I know you hate this topic. I'm bringing it up anyways.
Yeah. What is it? Is it Star Wars? I fucking hate that.
No, not
I don't hate Star Wars. Is it The Last Jedi? Because I fucking hate that.
I don't think like they need.
It's not doing good in China right now either. Just let me know.
We don't know a lot, but Vive, so the HTC Vive, on the 8th is actually having...
Is it the date? Is it the date?
Yeah, so January 8th, they actually have a announcement coming. So the announcement there really isn't a lot of information right now, and there's actually a website up, so you literally just look up HTC Vive 2018. There's actually a spot where you can see that something's coming, and then it looks like it's going from blurry to very in focus in the center of the screen. And nobody really knows what that means. There's a lot of stuff on Reddit, and there's a lot of questions and thoughts around it. There's a lot of people calling it HTC 1.5. I don't know if that's really branded in any way of what that looks like. They're saying it's not going to be HTC Vive 2.0. So Vive 2.0 apparently is supposed to have possible upgrades to like the hand controllers, which would allow for finger tracking and whatnot, which Oculus is actually known for.
Finger tracking?
So when you hold the grips of the Oculus, right, it's a lot more intuitive from what everybody's saying, and that's actually not what the Vive comes with. The Vive comes with those like stupid ass wands.
Yeah.
So the wands almost remind me of like the PSVR. I'm not a huge fan of that because the way that they integrate into the games that you play, that's part of the reason why VR is not winning. It's because it's not easy to control.
It's not. It's really not. I wonder really, I just looked at the photo. To me, the obvious thing would be something with higher resolution because something's going out of focus. It could be different kind of eye tracking too.
Eye tracking would be cool. So I heard someone saying that they thought it'd be 4K, and then talking to Father John...
no, the processing power would be...
It would take a lot to be able to do 4K. I think 2K makes sense, though. So,
isn't it already 2K now? It's 1080p. It's like 1.5K.
Yeah, so being able to do a higher resolution, and then especially like the probably the number one thing that everybody needs right now from it. Well, okay, 2 things that they need from the Vive to make it worth the price point, I think, is really just going to be the better controllers with the finger tracking, and then most likely just wireless.
Wireless would be nice. I think that's like the biggest thing for me right now.
Which so the Vive has a prototype from it was like a subsidiary or another section, a subsection of HTC that made a portable version, and it was actually at a huge... I don't remember which con it was at. I want to say it was either at like a San Diego Comic-Con or something to that effect, where it was last year or the year before they had a booth specifically for the wireless version of the HTC Vive. It was just branded differently. Like you have secret names.
That's to me would be the biggest. That would make me want to get one because I hated just feeling the cords.
So the PSVR was really difficult to play
because we had
when you had all the and so then if you were sitting down, it was really tough.
It was real
because
tough.
it would get caught on stuff.
Yep.
But then on top of that, if you're standing up, you have cables and things pulling on you.
It just felt awkward.
Yeah. So I would say making it wireless is probably the next big jump. But the biggest issue with it was always latency. How do you get the information from your computer, your PC or your Mac, whatever it was, to your headset, and still getting visually the 1080 without lag.
Yeah.
Now, if they solve for that consistently on a higher than 1080 level, like if you get a 2K resolution is still really good.
Well, you gotta think too, the distance from your eye from the screen as well is gonna.
Yeah, but you have to admit, like the PSVR, looking at that, because I think that was actually 720, right?
Yeah. It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. You could visibly tell that it was not a high resolution like what we might expect. Yeah. So I think going to 1080 at the very least is necessary when you're doing wireless. Like I don't want to play VR in 720. Like I don't want to.
Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, it just feels like a step back. It's because I know it's possible, right?
My thing is, I think I'm with you. Like what you said earlier, though, is like I would rather have it be 720 if I can get some better controller for it.
Yeah.
You know, because the Switch is only 720 and it's awesome to play on. Make the controllers better. It'd be a funner game to play. Anything would be fun.
I agree. I think that anything, because I'm a pixel whore. Like I have to see a high resolution. I bought a monitor that was not 1080p. I distinctly made sure that I had one that hit a certain refresh rate that was a high resolution because I want that crisp look.
Yeah.
Like it's just it exists. So how do we not push that envelope? So like I'm just excited to see what happens there.
Hopefully they announce something cool, and hopefully it does a better job of paving the way because I'm still not sold. Even though how popular it's getting, and Father John's a big person for it as well, and he talked about how great it is. But it's almost like for him, he cares so much about the community on there, and
which
not
is
so
actually
much about the gaming.
Yeah, that's a good transition too because we talked about VR chat a little bit earlier.
Yeah, we did.
Have you heard anything about it?
I haven't. Like when you guys were talking about this today was kind of like the first time I've ever really put any kind of fucking thought into it.
So VR chat is really weird. Basically, what happens is take the concept of an open room, a multiplayer setup, where you're literally just in an open world, and you can talk to random people.
Oh my gosh, like Ready Player One.
Kind of. But instead of being actually,
so it's a different way for nerds that can't wait. It's a different way for nerds that can't like ugly people who can't communicate with girls out in the real world, or vice versa, a girl talking to a guy. Now you have the ability of just going through VR to fucking get your jingles on because you don't got the balls to do anything. That's cool, awesome.
That's funny because I actually heard a story about a bunch of guys that were in a VR chat like realm, and like one was like, "Oh, you're black in real life too," and then another guy comes up, he's like, "Oh, I'm black in real life too," and another guy comes up, he's like, "Oh, I'm black too," and it just keeps going. Just a bunch of dudes be like, "Oh, I'm black too." I don't know how I feel about that community.
It's weird. It's
how awkward.
You remember when like chat rooms well, I guess I'm the only one that really this old, but like when chat rooms first started, and it was like a weird thing. Like, am I talking to somebody who's old enough, and like all this weird now
catfishing people?
Yeah, now it's just gonna be a fucking VR thing. And it's gonna be a weird way for people to be perverted.
So
people that can't talk to girls.
Here's what's really cool though. So
for all you pro gamers out there.
Hey now.
I can't find girlfriend. I'm a pro gamer.
Why do they have to sound like that?
Because I just make fun of you. Fucking bitch.
So, anyway.
You always check my fucking dude.
Sorry. Because your big ass mug. So.
This looks big to you because you have fucking midget hands.
It's so big. It's like, that's a bowl of me.
I know, that's what you eat your fucking ramen.
So, in Ready Player One, part of the book, the way that it plays out is there's actually a lobby room that you can go into, and everybody has their own like unique lobby room setup. So you go into that room and you can have like, and it's like this room. Like, you come in and you put your headset on for Ready Player One. In the movie, it's gonna be like this, and I hope it's like this. I hope they portray this.
Right, I have like my own bedroom.
Yeah, like you put on your headset and
people in my bedroom.
You show up here.
Is sexual harassment the same thing in the VRs?
I don't know.
Oh, it's gonna be interesting. You're gonna start seeing like weird sexual harassment lawsuits in fucking VR chat rooms.
He digitally touched me.
He digitally talked about my boobs.
What's the way to talk about the boobs?
Butt, penis.
And butt and penis?
Oh,
or
yeah.
butt, penis?
But tell me about your room, your weird sex video game room.
So there's a room that they go into where they have their own set, like they have
couches,
their couches and their games and their fridge and whatever it is.
Yeah.
Well, so imagine like that setup, but that's VR chat. So that's
awesome. That sounds so cool.
That's what VR chat is right now. Like, you literally have the ability to jump into.
How is that becoming popular? Instead of actually going out and meeting people, you just want to pop on a VR set because you're fucking
not everybody
ugly.
can afford the flight to Australia. Not everybody can afford the flight to UK, but you can go and show up in a room and talk to people. Like Father John has specifically talked about. He's like, Australian people at this time of the day, like this time, like 2 o'clock.
He's just saying because they don't speak English very well that they're really funny.
No. That's not what he said. That's not what he said. And when he watches this shit, he's gonna be like, yes, like you're dumb, because.
So you're saying the ability to talk to other people around the world and be perverted with other people around the world. That's awesome.
I mean.
No, he said it more than
you do want to tell me.
I
you don't want to be perverted. Exactly.
I want to go in VR and talk so much shit to people.
Exactly.
But.
No, he also want to be perverted with other people.
That's true. He was playing some game where you had to like figure out boxes and like puzzles and stuff. You're just talking about a fucking virtual
Tetris. What?
Yeah. Remember he said you had to like
VR Tetris. You're like,
no, like if you put me into like a VR room and we were like trying to escape a room together and we had to communicate, that's cool. But if you're just telling me I'm gonna go to a virtual room just to talk to somebody, that's fucking retarded. Go out, meet somebody. Go talk to real people. Stop being fucking pussies and hiding behind a fucking VR headset.
So what about the people? Okay, so those people aside, those people go. Okay, right? Mm-hmm. They're over there. Mm-hmm. So over here, I've got the people that do go out and do things. You and I and Father John, like we go, we go and talk to people, and we're not shy like that.
Yeah.
Right. We can still enjoy VR chat.
Yeah, I get. I get some of it.
Like you do all those things. Like we talked about how. We want to go to Cologne, Germany for a convention that's over there. Well, so like that being said, if we want to go over there, that's great, but that costs a lot of money. What if I want to be able to have a similar experience or talk to people that are from those areas on a constant basis, but rather than just doing the Discord chat, like I can just hear their voice, what if I can actually interact with them in different levels of games?
Fake world. I like it.
You already told me that you would love to be in Sword Art Online.
Oh my gosh, true. Wait, you got me there. But that's a video game. Like, if I'm telling you.
So
I'm all about it if, like, you're, like, doing a video game.
He's all about it if it's what he says, but when you say it, it's not okay.
You didn't say that. You're just talking about going to a fucking room and sitting next to some virtual guy and you guys touch each other and talk to each other. I'm all for it if we're, like, playing VR games.
I'm trying to paint a picture.
Paint your fucking picture.
That's understandable.
Well, you're not doing a good job. Don't fucking do it.
So, my point though is that like there are all of these possibilities. Mm-hmm. You can't shoot it down. Like
I'm not shooting it down.
Like Sword Art Online
that'd be so cool.
Can't exist until we have the ability to create these spaces. It's impossible for us to just create this game that's an open world, that's an MMO, that has this level of architecture and complexity.
Yep.
If we don't learn how to walk first.
Oh, I'm in my VR room. Fake boobs. Fake boobs. Oh, this room's so cool. Where are you from? Australia? Cool, man. I'm gonna get out of this room now.
That's a hard cut. Yeah. So I think as far as like VR stuff goes, like we're still super far off. But with VR chat, I think
sex chat rooms. You know that's all gonna happen.
Well, we already know the porn industry pushes every technology. Like, you can't tell me that the film industry hasn't moved forward in some regard because of the porn industry. Filming or tech or whatever. So with season 8 of Game of Thrones being so it's the final season, mind you. Have you watched all of
Yeah. Last season sucked.
What's it called?
Game of Thrones.
Still fucked it up. That's awesome. I love it. I don't know how you like try and still mess it up.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones season 8 is the last season. It's the final season, and they actually did finally announce that it's going to come out 2019.
Jesus Christ, they're fucking worse than Kingdom Hearts.
You're still hating on that.
God.
So what? The
hard part
why did
is
you have to bring that up? Because that actually makes me sad.
Yeah.
I forgot that Kingdom Hearts was being pushed back.
When did they push that back to?
I don't know.
It's just this is the thing. 2019.
While you're talking, I'm gonna look that up,
dude. It's. I feel like it's. I don't think it will lose its traction. It's just for me. I'm just so bitter. I don't have any other way to explain that. I'm just so bitter.
Everybody's excited for it, but I think that with HBO series,
fucking wait a year.
So Westworld, is that
Westworld.
Yeah, Westworld is their season 2 should come out later this.
I think
year?
like mid this year. There hasn't been an announcement when.
I
don't think there.
But they did say 2018.
Yeah.
So like
at least we got that to look forward to.
Yeah. So I think the reason for it is probably just because of how much money they're pouring into this.
And I hope so. I mean, because they fucked up season 7 so bad. Hopefully, they're taking the time of writing everything great.
So writing not phenomenal in season 7. Action and the shit that was happening. Season 7 was.
Oh yeah, season 7 was great, dude. That guy ran through those snowstorms in 1 hour all the way to the wall to be able to save him. That makes fucking sense.
I mean, I'm not saying that there weren't shitty parts. I'm just saying that getting
hopefully
spoiler alert. If you
haven't watched all the seasons of Game of Thrones right now and you're watching this, I don't give a fuck if I spoil anything for you.
Well, I mean, the dragon getting hit with the spear and then getting pulled out of the water, like that was pretty epic.
That was cool. Still a bad season.
How they tell me?
Oh, and there's gonna be there's gonna be less episodes in the final.
Tell
season
me
too.
how those zombie ass bitches. The White Walkers couldn't go in the water, like they couldn't go if they fell in the water they were done,
right.
Basically, right? Like they knew that's why they stopped. Tell me why they were able to somehow get chains.
Do you think it's like signs where they can't touch water?
I don't know. What I do know is it seems really odd that it looked like they couldn't swim, but yet they were able to go down with chains, mind you, wrap them around the dragon and pull it out of the water.
Hey, that's a good point.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't make any sense.
Logical. But
yeah.
Aside from that, with season 8 being a shorter season, they are
hopefully they make better episodes.
They're pouring a lot of money into it.
Well, they better
for the the scenes, the videography. Like it seems like the actual work that they're going to be doing is supposed to be pretty epic, and it makes sense since the last season. But why it takes so long to shoot all of it? To the point where they know it's gonna be pushed back to 2019, like that's crazy to me.
There's so much I love and hate about Games of Thrones. Like it's so great, but then you're gonna get season 8, and it's gonna have this ending, and then the book's finally gonna get done in like 4 years, and it's gonna have a way different ending. It's gonna be so off. It's gonna
which
be
is
weird.
similar to like so Walking Dead did a lot of the similar things in the sense that they told similar stories, like talk about Negan and so on and so forth, but. Because the comics,
2 different ways.
But it's split, and that's where it loses a lot of the organic.
Yeah, because the new chapter that just came out for The Walking Dead is fucking dope.
Which I totally fell off the wagon with Walking Dead because it took such a weird turn in comparison, and that's what I like. That's why I'm not totally against the last season of Game of Thrones because. There were still some good pieces to it, but
even the last season, we don't even know what that's going to look like in the book.
That's true. So
it can go so different in the book, and I think he's just going to go so different.
That's why, and this kind of rolls back to like when they make movies out of books. And okay, so here's another good example of this is making anime. So Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
When they made Sword Art Online from the actual manga, like the actual like the light novels and whatnot that they made, eventually it had to veer, and they had to create a brand new story arc. So the movie is not made off of an actual story arc from a novel, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken. And neither is like the I think the very next set um, of like the very next story arc that's actually being currently worked on for Sword Art Online is not coming from one of the original light
I didn't know
novels.
that.
I don't think
Hmm.
so. It's weird how that stuff pans out. I don't like that, but
That's why I'm worried about games.
to some degree, would you rather them have just said "fuck it, we're
No,
done"?
I think like from a
Like
like a filmmaker standpoint or a producer standpoint, like they're doing the right thing. They're capitalizing on money. They're making sure they're staying on top of it. They pushed it back as much as they could to make sure they got better writing and to still capitalize on it. You can't wait for what's his face to take that long to write something. Um, so they had to do it. It just sucks. I think it sucks more for us because I really do think the book's gonna have more than likely a 10 times better ending.
That's kind of the way that it is for most of those things, for most of those books and whatnot. Anyways, so I think it's just kind of the world that we live in, and I don't know that there's a good way to go about it. Like I don't know that I have a recommendation. I can't say that I would rather them have done it this way. I mean the only thing I could hope for is that the person that writes those books, so like in this case, did George R. Martin have anything to do with the actual screenwriting
I don't think he did.
of like season 7, season 8, right? Like if that is something that you could make work, then that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because
he knows. I don't think he even knows how he's gonna fucking finish him up.
and a lot of those writers, they won't. And so and converting stuff over from a regular book to a screenplay is also like, I'm sure you know, it's so different. So
God, it's waiting so long because it's already been 6 months since the season 7 ended. We're pretty much almost waiting 2 years.
Almost.
To see.
And the hope is that we don't wait a full 2 years, but there's a possibility. Like they just said.
They said 2019. Yeah,
so it might come out
December of 2019. Fuck.
You're pissing everybody off right now.
It's gonna be December.
Being so negative.
I call it right now. No joke. November 16th, 2019.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That just blows.
That's when it's gonna come out.
I don't even want to think about that.
That's when it comes out. Think about all the things that will come out before the next Games of Thrones. You're gonna have 2 Star Wars movies by then. You're gonna have a bunch of fucking superhero movies.
Yeah.
All that shit before the next. We're gonna fucking forget about games. We won't, but I'm just being a dick.
Okay. Well,
you're also taking a risk of one of the characters in real life getting hurt and not being able to record. That could happen too.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't happen. But, I mean, knock on wood. Why are you jinxing it, man?
What? I want everybody to suffer. That's why.
George R. Martin. There you go. Kill your favorite character. Okay, well...
He's a great writer because of that.
There's... So, I tell you what. I want to run this by you.
Yeah.
I want to run this by you guys. It's something that I think we would have a lot of fun doing, and we want some feedback. But I think it'd be really cool to be able to talk about like a game and a movie or something like that of the week or month in some form or fashion. We're looking just for some ideas. What if we had like here's the game that we're playing every week. For instance, this week I'm playing a brand new game that's in closed beta called Dauntless.
Dauntless?
Dauntless?
Sounds dumb. What's it about?
Dauntless is a game about like Monster Hunter type
Ooh,
stuff.
That sounds cool.
So basically what you do is you gather a team of like 4 people and you go on a hunt, is what we call it. Basically, like we go on a hunt and you run around with either like a really big sword or a hammer or axe or
a net,
pike. No nets. Sorry. No fishing involved.
Stupid.
But you go and you basically have to hunt down this giant beast, and you have to just fucking fight, and just you have to avoid their attacks. They attack in certain patterns. You have to learn the way that the beast fights, and it's like a 15-minute battle. It's just boss fights. Is all it is. It's just boss fights. So, I like the idea.
Can you gain weapons? Can you upgrade gear?
Well, once you kill an enemy, so let's say for instance you're hunting what's called a shrike, which is basically just a giant fucking owlbear, literally 4 to 5 times the size of your character. Well, you kill that guy, and you get pieces of his hide or his body, right?
To make better gear.
To make gear.
Okay.
So you make armor and weapons out of it.
So just boss fights.
Just boss fights.
Do you actually have to hunt it for a while, or do you find it pretty quick?
Well, so you have to go around and find where it's at. You'll hear it. You can find items. I have a lantern, is what it's called, that tells me where he's at. It'll be I can use that ability,
Alright.
and it's oh, go this way.
That's cute.
And it's kind of cool.
Cool.
But the point is, you go and you fight him. You hit him a bunch of times, do your thing, and then once you've done enough damage, he'll take off, and you have to go hunt him again. And you go find him again, and you fight him, and then there's a possibility that he'll run away again.
What's the game called?
Dauntless.
And what stage is it in?
It's closed beta.
So early shit.
Pretty early.
Is it pretty glitchy?
A little bit. It's not crazy. It's actually not as bad as PUBG, if you ask me.
You're fucking stupid.
I've been kicked out of PUBG more times in one instance.
On PC or Mac? PC or
console.
Console.
Dauntless right now is only on.
No, I'm talking about on PUBG.
Oh,
yeah, that's why.
Yeah, well, point being, Dauntless is a great game. I would love if we had the opportunity to talk about brand new games every week, just variety stuff, and I want to kind of hear what you guys think, what kinds of things you'd want to hear more about. If there's a way that you want us to talk about it, if you want little reviews and that sort of stuff, or if that should be completely separate. So let us know what you think. I think that's kind of where we should wrap it up.
Yeah. It was a good episode.
Yeah, it was fun. We had some fun times.
Fucking VR nerd chat rooms. Oh, hello. My name is Terry. I like your virtual boobs.
I swear, when we watch Ready Player One together, if you see that and you make fun of it, I'm going to sock you in the nuts. I'm going to hit you so hard.
I can't wait to ruin Ready Player One for you.
I'm going to hit you so hard.
Oh my god. No, fucking Tyler is going to fucking sit next to us. He can sit right in the middle of us.
Perfect. So he can make sure that you don't talk shit.
I'm going to talk so much shit. I might not.
Thank you guys for listening.
That movie looks so good, and the CGI looks amazing. Appreciate
you hanging out with us. Definitely check out our website when it comes up again very, very soon. It's still going to be
VR world.
Still going to be giveme5podcast.com, the number 5. So give me 5 podcast, and we still have a Twitter, still at Give Me 5 Podcast, and an Instagram, Give Me 5 Podcast. So makes it pretty easy. Hit us up, check us out. I also Twitch stream, and you can find me on Twitch TV, so twitch.tv/tbishtv. And where can they find some of your stuff?
I don't Twitch stream.
Your Root House Films?
Oh yeah, you can find all of our video work at roothousefilms.com.
Cool.
Yeah.
So a bunch of fun stuff there, and we're going to be putting out hopefully some cool videos and such for some fun, just random shit.
I'm actually going to go shoot one right now afterwards.
There we go. So check it out, and we'll see you guys next time.
Laters.